It's time to upload your video podcast to YouTube. YouTube has now opened podcast features to all channels. You can now designate playlists as a podcast, create a new podcast from your YouTube studio. You can even add square podcast artwork, and it gives you the chance to be featured on YouTube podcast page, as well as show up in search results as a podcast. Here's how to create a podcast from your YouTube channel. On your channel here on YouTube, click your logo in the top right and go to the YouTube studio. Now when you click the Create button in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the option for New Podcast. When you click that, you can choose to create a new podcast from scratch, or you can set an existing playlist as a podcast. We'll show you that in a second. Click Create New Podcast, and then you can title your podcast, add your podcast description, and you can even upload your square podcast artwork and create your new podcast right here on your channel. If you already have a playlist where you've been adding full episodes of your podcast, go to your content section in the YouTube studio here in the left-hand sidebar, click over to Playlists, then mouse over one of your playlists, click the three dots, and you can choose Set as Podcast. Once you've set a playlist as a podcast, you'll see the type here listed as podcast, and they'll also show up in this new podcast tab in your studio. YouTube recommends when you create a new podcast or set a playlist as a podcast that you only include the full-length episodes of your show. Don't mix and match clips or shorter segments of your podcast in that playlist. Keep that playlist your full episodes. So what are the benefits of creating a podcast or designating a playlist as a podcast? Once YouTube sees it's a podcast, there's a chance it might be featured on YouTube's own podcast page. You can go to youtube.com/podcasts, and on this page you'll have full episodes, podcast playlists, and individual videos that might be featured. Oh look, I know that channel. Not only that, but when people search for podcasts in YouTube or for a particular subject matter, your episodes will come up with a special podcast badge or label letting people know that it is a video podcast. YouTube also announced features coming to YouTube Music where you'll be able to add your audio podcast via RSS to that app, and those video episodes will be featured in the YouTube Music app as well. You can learn more about the YouTube Music updates for podcasters at the link above or in the description. And if you're wondering whether or not to add video to your podcast, now is the time. One of the best ways to grow your audience and your show is to do a video component. Not only will putting those full episodes on YouTube help your discoverability and search engine optimization by using titles, descriptions, and even including the full transcript as captions, but with video content, you can then create clips of your podcast, those vertical videos to share on TikTok and Reels, and that will help your discoverability even more. Plus, when you record with Riverside, we make it easy to export your full-length episodes. You can have you and your co-hosts or guests side by side in a video, set the in and out points, even remove sections now with our new editor, and you can upload that to YouTube straight away. Then you can use the Riverside editor to create those vertical clips, upload those vertical clips to the YouTube Shorts of your channel, plus TikTok and Reels, and increase your reach even more. To learn more about video podcasting and some of the changes coming to Spotify for video podcasters as well, subscribe to the Riverside channel. And if you have questions, leave them in the comments. We look at all of those, and we'd love to engage with you there. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next video.